Hi everyone, it's Jody from An Eye for Beauty, and today is Sunday, June 9th, 2024. This is our weekly energy update. I'm shuffling up the cards right now. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm going to pull 3 cards for us. You decide if you want to choose card number 1, or card number 2, or card number 3. And we're starting with our first card. The first card is the Loving Woman card. I'm being told to show us all the cards, so that's what I'm going to do. The second card is the Behind the Mask card. The third card is the Hidden Motivations card. Now, interestingly enough, this card was at the bottom of the deck when I pulled the deck out, and I shuffled it up, not really thinking that this card was going to come up, but potentially it did. And so here's what's going on, guys. So we have card number 1, the Loving Woman. Card number 2, Behind the Mask. Card number 3, Hidden Motivations. As always, everything that I bring up in these messages is for your highest good or something even better. Sometimes it's hard to hear. And in every case, it's what's going on in your personal life as well as your whole collective life. Like everybody around you is going through similar energies, even if it shows up differently. Card number 1, the Loving Woman. Card number 2, Behind the Mask. Card number 3, Hidden Motivations. So we start out when we are born here. We start out at the purest that we can be, with purest energies, purest intentions, with a full loving heart. And if you've seen the theme for the last few weeks, you're noticing, especially last week's message, that we were being so invited. That was not good English, but it's like such a strong energy to really tune into your heart, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you nurture yourself, and then of course how that shows up outside of yourself with your interactions with others, relationships, and situations. Last week's message barely hit anyone. Reached as far as reach, I should say. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with the fact that it was off of the energies of what was going on with Donald Trump. Maybe people don't want to listen to it because they don't like him. Maybe people just go past it, or the algorithm doesn't allow you to see it. And the algorithm may not allow you to see it, which is true. If you go look at Dr. Phil did an interview with Donald Trump, and he actually did like a show with his audience. And he talks about how he was trying to promote on TikTok what was coming up. He did an interview as a psychiatrist, and he was very neutral. Everything was fact-based. And TikTok would not even post the advertisement to show that he was doing this upcoming interview. Obviously, our words, what we want to say, has been being shut off in many different areas for a long time. We've seen that for the last 4 years. But when we come into this earth, we have a full heart, full of love, full of acceptance, full of unconditional love. And then we go out into the earth and we meet with people, and we have our family conditioning. We have our ancestral lineage and generational wounds that we're working through. Sometimes we are carrying them from the last generation or 3 generations ago, and we don't even realize it. I'm so open to seeing it now that when things go on in people's families, when it goes from one person to another, the family really, they don't even see what's really happening, but it goes down the lineage at least 7 generations. And if there's not that one person that doesn't do the work to cut it, to work through the wounding, it will continue on into the generations. So back to what I was saying. If you didn't watch last week's video, I really highly encourage you to do so, no matter what card you chose. If you chose card number 1, this is the energy that you're in. You're working on really being in the heart space more than you ever have before. You're going back to who you really were in an energetic way by being more of a loving person, more compassionate, more forgiving. Forgiveness is key when it's in your heart. When you say you forgive someone, but then every single thing that they do is hurting you, bothering you, irritating you, triggering you, you're not in the energy of forgiveness in the heart, and that is the key. So if you chose this card, and we're starting with this card because this is where we began our lives as humans, I want you to go look at last week's video and listen to it, because there's a teaching in what happens. And I hope that you are of the frequency that you can look past what you're seeing play out on the world stage in terms of Donald Trump and what he's going through, and really able to understand what's really going on energetically for all of us to be in an energy of. And if you're not in that heart space, it's time to start working on it if you chose card number 1. I'm telling you, the more that you go into your heart, the better you are going to feel. When people have chronic illnesses, it always comes, that physicality showing up, energetically shows up from an emotional large wound. Don't discount that. Don't think whatever you go through physically is just because you're going through it physically. That's not the case, okay? So that's the first card. The second card is, a lot of what is happening to many people now is that they were here. The energy is rising. Again, go listen to last week's message, because the frequency of our universe is rising. Light is entering our universe more than it ever has before. It's raising the vibration of where you're living energetically in the universe. Where are you in that? Are you equal to that, or are you lower than that? Are you working on it? Are you complacent? Are you stagnant? What masks do you need to drop? Where do you people please? Where do you show up and when you leave you feel ugh, because you weren't authentic to yourself? And you might not even realize when you feel that yuckiness that might be a reason why, because you didn't drop the mask. Or maybe you are dropping masks. So all those people that were at a lower frequency when you were at that lower frequency are falling away because you're not in alignment anymore. Where does that fit in for you if you chose card number 2? Those that are awakening, those that were awake, those that are in the process of being awake, those that are newly awakening, we're all dropping the masks. We're dropping more and more and more masks that we picked up after we were born for whatever reason. All those reasons I just mentioned in card number 1. You're in this energy, and if you chose card number 2, you still need to drop masks. Where does that show up for you? If you're unclear, I suggest you schedule a session, because scheduling a session is going to enlighten you to understand and give you clarity on what you need next. And I will be very honest with you, I haven't seen many of you. And why is that? Is it that you're working through your healing, or you don't want to do any more healing? It is important, just like it is in everything else that you do in your life, to be consistent in order to see results. And if you come once a year, twice a year, you're not going to see the results, unless you don't want to, that you would receive if you came once a quarter or once a month. It is super important. And if you're raising your vibration, you need to be clearing yourself and receiving more clarity and more guidance to continue the process of going through the healing. We're all going through a healing, just at different levels. And then the third one. When you drop the masks, it's like the curtain opens. The floodgates open. The layers of the onion are peeled back. You're able to see. You know what this card is showing me today? Look at where she's holding her heart space. The more you drop the mask and you go into the heart, Look at what's going on in this part of the card. Once the curtain opens, it's really not as bad as you thought. There was no reason for you to put the mask on because you're going to have happiness and joy behind you. We all go through challenges and obstacles in this life. There's not one person that doesn't. We just go through them differently. I went through a divorce. You might go through an illness. This one might go through something really terrible. Everybody's going to go through something differently to help them to grow. But if you don't go through the process, if you don't drop the masks, if you don't realize that you need to go through the process, you need to do the healing, you need to do the energy clearing, you're not going to get here. Stop holding yourself back from the healing process. That's what this message is today. Call in the archangels, call in your creator, call in whoever you work with of divine heavenly light. Come for Reiki, come for an energy clearing, come for an angel card reading. Go to somebody else, I don't care, but do the work. The work needs to be done. If you're sitting in an energy right now, if the world is a mess, which it is, it's chaos, it's crazy, I hate it, I don't want to be here, or whatever that energy is, it's because you're not doing the work. You have to do the work. You have to raise your vibration. You have to do the energy clearing in order to continue for the growth of yourself, which is going to help the growth of the universe. You want to be here, right? Do the work. There's so much hidden behind the curtain that you are not even aware of, and you'll never see if you don't do the work. So that's our message for today. The angels really have a very strong message for you, for me, for the collective. Are you ready to do what you need to do? Look at this. We're in such a stuck energy right now, but there's a rainbow. You need to do the commitment. And what's the commitment? Light work. Look at that. I guess we're done for today. They really have a strong message for us all. I can say I'm doing the work. Obviously, that's what I do for a living. But I could do more. I could be more. You can always raise your light. You can always clear. There's burdens I'm carrying. There's distractions I have. And I need to do better. So do you. If we are done doing the better, we don't need to be here anymore. So understand that. And don't sit in an energy of needing to be perfect either, because that's going to continue the stuck energy. All right, guys, I hope that this message served you today. I hope to see you for a session soon because it's going to help you. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.